Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths. Prior to your awakening of narcissistic abuse and your spiritual awakening, prior to this awakening, years ago or back in the days, you may have been around a lot of friends, a lot of family members, going to parties, going to clubs, drinking, affiliating with a lot of people, right? And then you had the experience with a narcissist involved in your life, or narcissists involved in your life. You had the experience with them and you went through this awakening, right? That was the birth of your awakening, right? You began to see different. You embarked on the healing journey. What you'll notice is there's some resistance, you see. After you go through narcissistic abuse and you awaken to the reality of these parasites that were once involved in your life, people that may have been around you, friends or family, they'll either consciously or unconsciously, but they'll begin to distance themselves from you, right? And this happens for a reason. There's a specific reason this happens, and it's because God is putting you through your awakening, because the awakening is a gradual process. You awaken initially to narcissistic abuse, and you begin on the healing journey, but you gradually awaken more and more. And through this awakening process, it comes the isolation phase. And as I said in the earlier segment, you may have been someone who was around friends, around family members, always affiliating with people, going to parties, and you find yourself, after going through this narcissistic abusive relationship, you find yourself with no one around, and perhaps, one thing you shouldn't do is actually try to fight the isolation phase, right? By trying to rekindle with old friends, trying to rekindle with family members. You shouldn't fight this isolation phase, right? Because what's actually happening, either consciously or unconsciously, is these people, for example, you may be phoning people, they're not answering the phone to you, your phone's not ringing, people are distancing themselves from you, and you find yourself in this place of isolation, and you early on in your journey, you may feel very brokenhearted and lonely, right? And this is why I'm saying, don't fight the isolation phase. It's an inevitable phase that you need to go through as a chosen one and an empath. You are being crafted. You are being molded. You are being shaped by God, right? And I mentioned this in another video, but I felt like I could dig a bit deeper in on this video. I mentioned the cocoon, the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and emerges as a beautiful butterfly. Now, this is the same process that goes on with the chosen one during the isolation phase. You can speak. If you ask other chosen ones or other empaths, they will have endured a season of isolation, a phase of isolation, right? And the thing is, this is why I say don't try and fight it. Don't try and rush out there and start affiliating with new people or searching for romantic relationships. Go with the flow of this isolation. Now, I'm not saying this isolation phase, I don't know how long it's going to last. It might last it might last some months. It might last some years, right? But through the process, you are being crafted and shaped. And what you'll realize is is even if you do fight the isolation by starting to rekindle with old friends or rekindle with certain family members, you may have some people around, right? But you may be like generally isolated, right? But if you start rekindling with some friends, you'll realize that you've advanced and ascended through this spiritual awakening, right? You're hitting higher heights. Like, your comprehension is so much greater than theirs that they're not even on the level. And this is why, you know, either consciously or unconsciously, these people are distancing themselves from you. Either they know they're doing it and they're purposely doing it, or they're unconsciously doing it and they're just being parted away from you by God or the universe. They're just being cast aside, you know? That's why, for example, you know, you may run into rejection, right? You may be searching for a relationship or a romantic relationship or a friendship, and you may be met with rejection from certain individuals. But those rejections that you're experiencing is actually a blessing from God and from the universe, because God is shaping you and carefully cutting people away from your life, right? But it is a big, big test for the chosen one and the empath to go through this and withstand the season of isolation, right? It's a big, big test, you know, to withstand it. And the thing is through the process, it's quiet, you're alone, you're with your own thoughts, you're healing too, you're going through the healing journey as well, but you're awakening more and more. And you're radiating at a frequency that's so high, right? That people don't resonate with you no more. People don't understand you. They don't understand you. And some people may, you know, stigmatized in society, some people may frown upon you and call you a hermit or call you a loner or things of that nature, right? They, you know, that's how they'll gaze upon you, right? It's very low vibrational negative words there, like loner, etc. Because the further that you go in this cocoon, in this isolation phase, right? The further you go down the road with it, right? And you ride it out, right? You begin to build such a relationship with yourself that your company, you're so comfortable in your own company, right? You're so comfortable in your own company. And that's what I made the video about earlier. You can experience loneliness after narcissistic abuse. Being comfortable in your own surroundings is vital, right? And this is what I'm saying. You get so comfortable in your own surroundings, you build this relationship with yourself. But by you going through this phase of isolation, it's not going to last forever, right? It's a phase. I don't know how long it's going to last for you in your life, right? Eventually, you're going to align only with people that are matching your frequency, right? You're only going to align. So, for example, you know, if you start going for job applications, for example, you start trying to get a job, you may be met with loads of rejection from jobs. But the one job that accepts you is a job that's good for you. Or a career, you may be trying to endeavor down different career paths. But then the one career path that succeeds is the career path that is aligned with your spirit. The same goes for people. You may meet friends further down the line of after your isolation season, and those people that you encounter will be aligned with your spirit. They'll be on your and you would have outgrown all these people from your past by 1,000,000 miles, right? Same goes for romantic relationships. As long as you don't just rush, you know, the people that you will align with will be real soulmates. And you can have soulmates not only in just romantic relationships, but in friendships as well. You can have soulmates in friendships or family members. You can have soulmates. They resonate with your soul. They're empaths. They're chosen ones. They're aligned with your frequency. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help you brother out. Take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. But that's what will happen. But this is what I'm saying. While you're going through the process of this phase of isolation, don't fight it. Don't try and rekindle relationships. Don't try and speak to old friends. You know? They get curious anyway. By you going on this season of isolation, old friends will think about you from time to time. And even if they've distanced themselves from you, when they view you, they'll just say, he's or she's on something else. They're on a different path. They're on a different plane. That's the way they'll view you, right? Because you've advanced and ascended and your comprehension is so much greater of the world, right? And one thing that these people haven't been through is narcissistic abuse, right? This is the key to your awakening, right? As I mentioned in the other video, some chosen ones get caught up in the cycle of going from abuser to abuser to abuser, right? They go from the narcissist that was involved in their life to another narcissist, or sociopath or psychopath, and they get caught up in a toxic cycle. But other chosen ones and empaths go on this path and phase of isolation, and they become so comfortable in their own existence. They become so comfortable in their own skin. They fill themselves with self-love. They overcome that initial hurt and grief and pain and bouts of feeling lonely. They overcome that. And they build this relationship with themselves that is great. You see, the thing is about this world is you're born alone, and it's highly likely that you'll die alone, right? Because even if it was, for example, in a car crash or something of that nature, then people may die at different times. I'm just using that as an example. Sorry to talk about negative stuff, but I'm just saying that it's highly likely that you'll die alone as well, right? Or even if you're in a relationship with someone, it's highly likely that you might depart at different times, you know. So there's a lot of benefit, right, by being alone. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be alone forever. You don't need to be alone forever, and you won't be alone forever, right? You won't be. It's just don't fight the isolation phase. It's going to last for a period of time. Please, if you're at the beginning of your journey, or maybe it's even been some years, it's still fresh, you know. Don't fight the isolation phase. There's something that God wants for you. There's something that the universe wants for you. You're being crafted. You're being shaped, right? You know, you're being crafted. You're being shaped. You're being carefully orchestrated by God to align with a pathway that's meant for you. You know, you're going to filter through all the rubbish, right? And, you know, there will be people that will try to affiliate with you in your life and through this isolation phase, but you would have developed such a bond with yourself by now. You'd have developed such a routine that certain people irritate your spirit. And even if you was to rekindle with old friends, just to say for the benefit of the video, like for the sake of the video, you've advanced to levels beyond them. They're not on your level no more, and they know it. They know it, right? And some people may think that you're weird. Some people may think that you're crazy, right? But there's a key to being alone for this isolation phase. Chosen ones throughout history, right, went through bouts and seasons of isolation, right? They did. You know, for example, just to, whether you believe it's mythology or you, however you view it, you know, you believe it's mythology or you believe it's fact, regardless, you know, Jesus spent 40 days and 40 nights in the desert or something like that. He went for 40 days and 40 nights and fasted, but he also spent other times alone. There's various prophets and that have spent time alone, right? They've spent time alone. Look at, for example, whether you believe it's true or not, or you take it as mythology. I'm just extracting knowledge from the scriptures. Noah went through isolation by everyone not agreeing with him that there's going to be a flood. So he was isolated. There may have been people around, but he was still isolated from his community, right? But he trusted in God's plan and built the ark and whatnot. So I'm just saying that this is nothing new, right? Chosen people throughout history have gone through the isolation phase, right? And by you going through this, you know what you deserve. You see, when you affiliate with people, back in your younger days, if I go all the way back to the beginning segment, when I said when you used to go to the clubs, or you used to go to the bars, or you used to go to events, and you used to do this, and you used to do that, you didn't really know what you wanted in life. You may have not discovered, you didn't think about your purpose, you didn't think about meaning, you were just living day to day, maybe following the herd, you know. Now you're on a different level. You're on a completely different level, right? So for example, if you are facing trouble or facing rejection in relationships, or you're facing rejection in the workplace, or you're facing rejection in career paths, that resistance is happening for a reason, and it's divinely orchestrated, right? These people are not meant for you. These relationships that you're pursuing are not meant for you. That job that you're pursuing, you're getting rejected from when you put in your resume or your CV, that job's not meant for you. God's got something greater for you. The universe has got something greater for you, right? And I made a video, I'm not sure which channel I put it on, but I was talking about God's timing, Chronos timing versus Kairos timing. Chronos timing is the Greek timing for our time in the Greek wording. And Kairos time is the spiritual time. And that's why I'm saying things might seem like an eternity for you, right? You know, you may have been going through years of isolation, right? It may feel like a long time, but God's all-knowing. God's got a plan. The universe has got a plan for you, right? You know? As I said, some people may only need 6 months. Other people may, you know, it's up to you, you know, however long, you know, as long as you're prepared. The thing is don't just try and fight the isolation phase by trying to affiliate with people if they're no good for your spirit. You've already got the discernment through your spiritual awakening. You've already been given discernment to see through toxicity now. So through this phase of isolation, enjoy it, love it, thrive in it, develop in it, ascend, evolve, and you will align with people that are destined for you. You know? You will align with people that are correctly there for you. All the rest of them will be cast aside. The people that are not meant for you, the jobs that are not meant for you, the career paths that are not meant for you, that will be cast aside. And you will align with what is destined for you, what is meant for you. for your life, right? That's the way it's going to be. So enjoy the phase of isolation. Enjoy it. Don't be in a rush. Don't let the enemy or your brain play tricks on you, or the negative forces, however you want to view it, however you want to look at it, tell you time's running out. Time's running out. Things like that. Don't let that happen. Each day is a new day. And I said this in the other day in the video. The calendar is a construct, right, that monitors time. You know, the universe doesn't really know that it's January. You see what I'm saying? The seasons, the weather doesn't really know it's January, doesn't really know it's February. That's why the seasons of the weather shift, right? You know, the seasons of the weather, sometimes you might have a really cold winter, and other times it's a mild winter. Sometimes you might have a really hot summer. It's like that in UK anyway, right? Then in the summer you might have a really hot summer. It slightly shifts, right? It slightly shifts differently because each day is a new day, right, on this earth. So each day that you are awakening more and more each day, you're evolving each day, you're ascending each day. And if you ride this isolation phase out, right? If you ride it out, you will have such a bond with yourself that it's really going to take a special someone, you know, whether it's a friend or a romantic partner, to actually take you out of your comfort zone, to take you out of your haven that you've built, your sanctuary that you've built. You know, that's how it will be. So when you emerge as a butterfly from the cocoon, you know, everyone's going to see how, you know, for example, how beautiful a butterfly's wings are. Everyone's going to see how much you've developed, how much you've grown, how much you've ascended, how much you've advanced. You know, all the naysayers, all of the old friends, the old affiliates, the old people all bear witness that you've advanced to different degrees. And then you will unite with people that are on your level. You will resonate and reason with people that are on your level. And everyone else will be cast aside. You know, the old friends, the old, maybe even family members, you know, people that don't resonate, won't, you know, these people will irritate your spirit, right? Because they're not on your level, right? It's not putting them down. It's not putting them beneath you. It's just, they're, you know, they're in the matrix, right? When you go through a spiritual awakening, when you go through narcissistic abuse, when you go through the pain that you've endured, when you go through the darkness that you've endured, it crafts you to be a different person. When you go through the isolation phase, it crafts you to be a different person. You know, you evolve so much. So don't despair, right? And don't fight it. Don't fight the isolation phase. When the time is right, you will align, you'll know, you'll feel it in your spirit. You'll feel it in your spirit when someone is right for you. You'll feel it in your spirit when a friend is right for you. You'll feel it in your spirit when a romantic partner is right for you. Don't be confused with counterfeits, right? Because the enemy, or however you want to look at it, negative forces will send counterfeits your way to distract you from your path. Because you're on a mission, you're on an assignment, you know? So counterfeits will present themselves, right? So as much as you may get rejection, you may get counterfeits coming your way that are not meant for you. They're fakes, they're snakes, they're not meant for you. And you'll be able to see through them. You've got enough discernment from that experience that you went through, the narcissist involved in your life, to be able to see through people now. You've got the ability to judge well. You have got enough discernment to see through people, right? So don't despair about this season of isolation. You know, don't despair about it, right? It's a beautiful thing. It's actually a beautiful thing. And a lot of people, right? A lot of people can't actually spend time alone. A lot of people can't spend time alone. They can't. Majority of the population doesn't know how to spend time alone. A lot of people are in codependent relationships. And they don't know how to spend time with themselves. And, you know, God or the universe is gonna send you messages through this season of isolation, revelations. You know, you'll receive revelations, however you want to look at it. You receive signs, you know. Some of you experience dreams, you know. You'll receive information and revelations to help you on your journey, right? So just understand that if you're out there and you face rejection from people, or people are not calling up the phone like they used to do, and you're going through this phase, don't despair about it. Don't frown upon it. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a real beautiful thing, right? It gives you so much resilience and strength and power to stand firm by yourself, for yourself, right? It gives you so much strength. And like I say, it's a phase. It's a season, right? Some people's season might last longer than others. Some people's phase might last longer than others. So when the time is right for you to emerge as a butterfly, for you to come out of that phase of isolation, for you to come out of that cocoon, you'll know it. You'll know, right? You'll know. The people that present themselves, you'll know. You have the ability to judge well. You should have a meticulous vetting process instilled in your nature anyway now, with whoever you're around. You know, even if you're at work and you're dealing with colleagues, you should have a meticulous vetting process to run analysis on people, to check if they're frauds, to check if they're snakes, you know? And just keep riding it out, and eventually you will align with the people, your soul tribe, the people that are aligning with your spirit, the people that are on your level, right? Because you've outgrown the people from your past. You've outgrown a lot of people now. You're on a different level. You've outgrown so many people, you know? You've been educating yourself. Some of you have been reading books. Some of you have been studying. You're doing various pursuits in your life, right? You're using your time wisely, right? You're using your time wisely. So when the season of isolation is over, right? When the season of isolation is over and you unite with your soul tribe, then you're going to be so grateful that you actually endured that you went through that. When at the beginning of it, when it first started after awakening, people were distancing themselves from you. People weren't phoning your phone. You know, you were hurt. You felt betrayed. You felt lost. You felt disorientated. By the end of it, you're going to be a completely new person, right? Version 2.0. So anyway, thanks for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And if you'd like a one-to-one session myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently, I've got the secondary channel, the spiritual channel. Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. So anyway, be back with another video soon. Peace.